This podcast is sponsored by L Creations, graphic prints for you at a cheap, affordable price. Look at L Creations on Twitter, L Creations on Facebook, and L Creations on Instagram, or message Ben Lockyer personally for a great graphic print at a great price. Right, welcome back to Back with a Bang, episode 9. We're back again. Here he is, the man, Joe. How you doing, bud?
Yes, I'm back. Can't get rid of me, unfortunately. I'm back.
How you been, mate? How you been? How's things?
Not too bad. Just kind of taking a few days off after a grafting weekend, so I've had to take a few days off, even though I've got loads to do. I've had to take a break. I'm gonna get back to the grind, I would say, after this podcast. So a bit of a mixture.
It's tough, innit, at the minute, Joe, with what's going on, because we are slammed with work. I'm not going to just try and put it polite for the podcast. We are slammed with work at the minute.
Totally agree. At the moment, I'm like up to my neck in work. I can't even tell you how much I've got to do. It's constant, yeah.
It's just crazy, mate, because it's like I thought it would get easier as the things go on, but it's just getting more. And it's like it's not actually the work; it's the deadlines.
Yeah,
it's how short the deadlines are. That's the issue for me. Like the deadlines are too short.
100%. Like said, we've got to do something by today. I've not even started that today. Like I've done my video, so I've got to edit my video today. I'm gonna do that. Like I'd say I'm a bit behind, to be honest with you. I'm a bit behind, but I've just crack on and get it done. Like, because I'm kind of waiting to go into the FMP now. That's what I'm looking forward. So I just want to go into that. More freedom, less deadlines, can kind of do what you want on it.
Yeah, it's crazy, mate, because I don't want to say too much. Obviously, slating the cause. It's a good cause.
Yeah, obviously.
The deadlines recently have been a bit chaotic, really. So, just stress up to the neck wasn't. But we're still producing the podcast, and some good topics to talk about today. The first one, the biggest shock in combat sports for a while, I would say, on last Saturday. My favorite fighter, Conor McGregor. I'm not a casual before anyone starts saying, "Oh, you're a casualist." I watch every event every weekend. Joe can back me up on that.
He does.
I'm up till 5 a.m. watching every event. But he's my favorite fighter. He got me into the sport. Conor McGregor, he lost by knockout. Joe, before I jump in on my opinion, I'll just let you just give your reflections on his performance and the whole thing.
I only really watched Conor McGregor fan, so I'm a Conor McGregor casual, but it was quite shocking to see him get knocked out his first ever time, and I were expecting him to win, to be fair, but it were a shock to see him get knocked out, even though he's the one doing the knocking out. He's my favorite UFC fighter. Well, apart from that anime fighter, I forget his name all the time. He's quite enjoyable to watch, but it kind of got me to see Conor. But I'm sure he'll be back, and I'm sure he'll want. Well, apparently he's meant to be fighting him again, Mene or Diaz. It's meant to be a trilogy of the either one of the fighters.
Before I jump in, do you think he's done?
I don't think he's done. I just don't think he has the hunger what he had. He's proved it, and he's proved that he'll go down different ways. He's been double champion. I don't think he has the hunger that he did anymore. So it's a tough one, to be fair. I think he might have one more, maybe one more, and then he might call it quits on permanently.
Right, so here's my take on it. So with the whole thing, I'm watching the fights, and El Baker's been talking about how confident he was and how motivated he was, and he really did look confident. His team was really confident as well. Some of the pictures he put out and the shape he was in was extreme, and
it was
brilliant. The fight itself, so the fight starts, and you know what? He looked good. He came out at the blocks. He came out with his boxing style, which I'm not a huge fan of recently. I think he should go back to his old style on his toes, sort of thing.
Definitely.
But he came out with the boxing style. He landed some good shots early, but you could see that I knew Dustin would go for the legs. Me and my friend Ben were talking about it. That we knew he'd go for the legs. Just because he did it last time. He had a little bit of success in the last fight. Not too much, but a tiny bit of success. He dropped him with a leg kick once. But he went for the calf these times instead of the high legs, and the calf kicks have really been introduced into MMA recently properly. Benson Henderson started it, doing it really properly. It's really become popular recently, quite influential now in MMA. And let me tell you, mate, I've received some of them before in Spartan and stuff. They even wishing gods on. So it takes 3 or 4 of them, mate, to do it. And I just think everyone talks about Conor's left hand being his most deadly threat, but I disagree. It's his movement to set up the left hand. That's what does it for me. And Dustin Poirier really shut that down. I mean, it came out the first round, and I thought, you know what? I won't be surprised if Dustin Poirier wrestled him, and he did. Dustin Poirier had the perfect game plan where he took him down. He wasted time, and he tired Connor out, and he was chopping at the legs. He wasn't trying to box with him, because last time he tried to make it a boxing fight, and this time
All right, yeah.
he came out and he made it a kickboxing MMA fight. He made it an MMA fight. That's the difference. He wasn't trying to play Connor's game. And I was surprised that Connor wasn't throwing more kicks, to be honest with you. He was throwing just boxing shots, really. And then he started throwing kicks when those leg kicks were doing it, when he was getting effective by those leg kicks like proper. And he started throwing his own, so he'd stop. But that didn't work because he just kept chopping his legs. But yeah, it took him down. Connor hit some good shots. Like he did look sharp. His time was a little bit off.
He did, yeah.
But his time was put off after those leg kicks were doing. Before that, he was landing some good shots. Like he landed a great left hand and some uppercuts. But the problem was he wasn't using he didn't come out with his own same old movement anyway. He came out with his boxing style where he was susceptible for them leg kicks. He wasn't range finder. I know he's against the south, but he wasn't putting any sort of range on him. He was just in the pocket trying to go for him. Now I don't think he looked. Everyone's saying look washed. I disagree. I think everyone's giving Dustin Poirier no credit. Dustin Poirier came out. Dustin Poirier is one of the best in the world. He was disrespected all week by everybody, saying he doesn't stand a chance. Doesn't stand this.
That's how it always goes, isn't it? Like they were always going to be less talked about, even though he came out, did everything perfectly, and ended up winning. But like you just said, all you've heard really is kind of like him losing. You haven't heard about Dustin Poirier.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of Dustin Poirier. So if there's anyone I wanted to see kind of lose to like that, it was Dustin Poirier because he just deserves it, man. He's one of those guys. He's climbed his way back from adversity, and he's just a genuinely nice guy. Like one of the nicest MMA fighters about there is. And do you know what? I didn't think it looked that bad. It was just great to see Conor there back. It was just surreal to see him back in there, like throwing his combinations, his shots. It was brilliant. There wasn't like the Conor of old, but you know what? I think those leg kicks put him off that. And it's weird. It's upsetting for me to see a legend like that go out on his shield like that. It's upsetting to see the guy that got me into the sport, mate, go out on his shield and like get knocked out like that. It was fucking hard to see, mate. Honestly, like I was happy for Dustin, but it was hard to see Conor laid out like that on the floor. Like never seen that. That's one thing I never thought I would see is that's Conor McGregor knocked out. And it was it was just devastating, mate. Seeing the guy that got into the sport, the guy with so much confidence when he come into the sport, starting from the bottom and now to the top, and you can just tell he put everything into it. I think that's why he wasn't so upset. You know, I think everyone's saying, "Oh, well, he wasn't that bothered," but I tell you why he wasn't upset. He put everything into it. He put everything into that, and at the end of the day,
gonna win it.
Exactly. Dustin Poirier had the better game plan. That's what happened, and now it's even more upsetting to see, mate. For myself, is seeing everyone else saying that Conor's done and he's washed up, he should retire. Like, I was watching Joe. I don't really watch Joe for MMA usually because he'll admit himself he's a bit of a casual and he just doesn't watch everything. He's not a huge fan. Well, he's a fan, but he's not like huge, watches every event sort of thing.
Yeah, like you, yeah.
But he was saying he thinks Conor looks the worst he's ever looked, and just fans are saying as well, like he looks washed up, he should retire now. It's time to see him go. And I just disagree. I just think everyone's looking past Poirier. He's one of the best in the world. Conor's been inactive for a year, and he's trying to jump in there against a shark in Dustin Poirier, an absolute legend in Dustin Poirier, who no holds barred. Dustin Poirier knocked out more or less everyone except Khabib. A different level, Dustin Poirier. And do you know what? I think if he gets it, he's been known, Conor, when he loses, to come back and make adjustments and come back and win. And I think now I've said it before. I've been saying it all week that this will make him hungrier. This will make him want to come back and be active. And I think, you know what? I think we'll see him about 3 or 4 times this year. Even though he's lost, I think we'll see him loads this year now. So I think he's one of them guys that when he loses, he makes adjustments. And I think if he fights Dustin Poirier again, and I'm going to say it right now, I'll get all this stick in the world, I don't care. I'll always back Conor. Like, I'll back Dustin Poirier, but I was a Conor fan first, so I'm going to support Conor. But Conor will make adjustments, and I think he'll come back in the trilogy and he'll beat Dustin Poirier because he makes adjustments. Diaz too, he made adjustments. He come back and beat him. He's one of them fighters. He's a great loser. Like he knows how to lose and adjust and make the amendments. And I think he'll come back now against Dustin Poirier. He shouldn't be trying to get the trilogy first. I know what you think. But he's trying to get the trilogy immediately.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I've seen that.
For the title, I've seen his coach say. I disagree. I don't think he should. I don't think he deserves it. First of all.
Well,
he's just been knocked out in the second round by Dustin Poirier. He doesn't deserve it. But Dustin Poirier will fight him again. Like, there's no doubt. Dustin Poirier said he wants to fight me and he wants the money now. Dustin Poirier's like $1 million a fight. I think I've seen something like that. So if I was Dustin Poirier, I know what I'd do. I'd fight Oliveira. I think he beats Oliveira pretty comfortably. Dustin Poirier's got great wrestling. Except when he fought Khabib, he can keep it under feet, and Oliveira's striking is not up to Dustin Poirier's level. He'll knock him out, I feel. No offense to Oliveira, but Oliveira's good, but he's not at Dustin Poirier's level. I suppose it's a level above, I think, a lot of these guys, and I think we'll see him get the title, and then Conor McGregor will have to fight someone else. If I was going to fight for Conor McGregor, I would fight Gaethje or RDA. They are two slobber knocker fights, huge fights. There's no point in fighting Ferguson. He's on a 2-fight skid. I know. I'm a big fan of Ferguson. I know Conor says he doesn't care about like what form you're on, but it just does him no good because it just does him nothing. I don't feel like it doesn't do him anything. I think Ferguson needs to win against somebody else really. Chandler maybe, I don't know. We'll see where Chandler's at. I think Gaethje, because the leg kick, he's another leg kicker, big leg kicker. He kicks hard. So just to try and adapt to that style, I think you should fight Gaethje. If he wants to get better at that, fight Gaethje. And plus, those inside leg kicks aren't as bad as the outside ones anyway. So I think if you can adjust to that, fight Gaethje or RDA, two tough opponents. RDA, a tough grappling opponent, tough on the feet, tough all around. It's a tough guy. Fight him or fight Gaethje, I would say. And then get a win over there, and then get back in with Poirier, the trilogy. And then Poirier's the champion then, let's say. Poirier, champion gets pay-per-view points. And this is what I'd love to see as a Poirier fan. Champion gets pay-per-view. Either win or lose, Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor does 2 million, I'd say, pay-per-view buys now. Because it did 1.6 this one. But with one apiece.
Yeah, that one was trending worldwide. That was like one of the biggest box offices ever.
Second biggest in mate. One apiece, mate. It'll do 2 million easy. And as a champion, the champion gets pay-per-view points. So that's a good 7 or 8 million for Dustin Poirier there. Like as a Poirier fan, I want to see that happen for him because he's a great guy. He deserves that money, and I think that'll probably set him up for life. I know it's not that a lot.
He's worked hard, didn't he?
Not a lot compared to McGregor, but he's worked hard. He would deserve that. So that's what I want to see, man. And you know what? That'd be great. And I think it'd be the perfect redemption story for Conor. And I think that would lure Khabib back.
You see, I've seen a story compared to Mayweather versus Canelo. Like that first fight when McGregor and Poirier were like Mayweather versus Canelo, but Poirier obviously came out. He's had a few battles by now, and he's better than what Conor thought. You know what I mean? Like he's adjusted his fighting and everything. He was just more prepared.
I don't think Conor expects him to be able to take the shots as well. I think he expected Poirier to crumble, to be honest with you. But he didn't. He took the shots. I think he hurt Poirier a couple of times, but he didn't have that killer. He didn't have that killer instinct. I don't think that far. He didn't go. But I think that's what. I think why he didn't have that was because of his leg. He couldn't really push that far forward. Yeah. His leg was just absolutely just dead, and that's the issue with confidence. They really do halt your movement. You can't go anywhere with it. So another thing that I really love. I don't know if you've seen it. Is post-fight antics as well from Conor McGregor. Always humble, always gracious, and
he was crying when fans and that. Like I said, his fans have got me through everything. They've always been there for me. Like that's good to see from him recognizing his fans. Like it'll be good. It's good to see any fans of any sport doing that. But it's because I know Conor McGregor fans are very loyal. They're always, every time he fought in Las Vegas, his thousands of Irish people they're all there supporting him, which is amazing to see.
Yeah, everyone was saying, "Oh well, I love seeing Conor this humble," but he's always been this humble after defeats. He has one humble come out and give Diaz his credit. Said, "I'll make adjustments and I'll come back." Khabib. Humble, yes, he didn't want to give Khabib his credit, but he has to give Khabib his credit since he has come out. I lost the war, fair enough, but he has always been humble. I think everyone's surprised how humble he was pre-fight with Dustin Poirier, but he's a legend, Dustin Poirier. There's no need for that trash talk now. Like Dustin Poirier is a signified legend, and if he did trash talk Poirier, he wouldn't do him any good anyway. Because why do it? He's not said anything bad about you. Poirier's a legend, and he respects that. So
it's like I think McGregor's grown up a lot now. I know people said they miss the old McGregor who came out like screaming in your face or said, "Who is that guy?" And that he's matured now. I don't think he wants that reputation as much anymore. Like he's a different person. He's learned his lesson. There's no need to go on about this anymore. Like he's proved it, and he don't need to keep doing what he did. Like, he don't have to keep bad mouthing or like trash talking. Even though it's good entertainment, don't need to do it anymore.
Don't get me wrong, I'd love to see him and Diaz go at it again. Because them actually, yeah, I forgot to throw Diaz's name in the hat. Like Diaz would be a great opponent because he just brings out that side of Conor. But what side I don't want to see again is the Khabib side of him, because that was a dark side that not many fans
them two don't like each other at all, do they? Like them two really don't like each other.
I do miss that sort of Conor with the Diaz Conor. Like that was a good fun. Like everyone would love to see Diaz and him go back and forth again because they're just two peas in a pod. Like when he's going, I don't give a shit either, and like that. It's just brilliant,
Chucking
mate.
water bottles on that each other, monster cans.
Exactly. That shit's brilliant. Like we love that shit. We don't like the. I just didn't like the Khabib antics. Do you know what I mean? I didn't like it from both sides. And I just think Khabib's response to that Connor's defeat was just classless, to be honest with you.
It was disgusting, to be honest. There was no need for that. Like, I think I know the best, but I think he thinks he's too good for everyone. Like, he thinks he's just better than everyone. He thinks no one will ever beat him, which I kind of hope someone does, to be honest. I know he's good, but I kind of
don't think anyone will.
I know.
I think Connor has the best chance. Like, everyone else, it isn't him, but I actually feel Connor has the best chance. Yeah. I think Connor looked one of the best out of everyone he's fought. I think Connor has the best chance, to be honest with you. Or even, just Connor. If he went up in weight, then he'd have a lot of tough matchups up there. But Connor has the best chance, I feel. That would be a good matchup again. We probably won't see that again. But I just thought that there was no need for his reactions. Like,
definitely.
What Khabib was saying wasn't true either. Like, he was saying like, excuse me, Connor had changed his team and it's changed his sparring partners and sparring little kids. Like, that made no sense because like Connor's not changed his team. Like, he hasn't sparred with Dylan Dennis for a while because he's injured, and not sparred with Artem because I think he's got like boxing coaches in, but that's Artem. That's not me. Like, I think he is still sparring with Artem though, but he's still got the same coaches. That's one thing you can have, but he's loyal to his coaches.
So you said to me, innit?
And like posting the picture as well of kind of knocked out and saying you woke everybody up and then you went to sleep. I just don't think there was any need for that. Like, he says he doesn't want to fight, but like Connor says, that in fairness, they are fighting words. When you're taking the mic, they're fighting words. They are fighting words. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Just think how much money they'd make off that fight. Like, he'd probably come out just for that. Like, come on, who wouldn't?
There was no need for that, to be honest with you. Like, I just don't think there was no need for that. Especially Cam's actually lying as well, calling him a chicken and stuff. There's just no need for tap like chicken, tapping so you don't die and stuff. You know what I mean? It's just silly.
Obviously, yeah.
Silly. I don't get. I get. It annoys me sometimes, but I'm a fan of Khabib. Don't get me wrong, but I just didn't like the post-fight antics from him, and I just thought Conor was being so humble and respectful, and he always is. Like, I don't get the fight. Everyone's saying, "Oh yeah, well, how's he turned so humble after a fight?" He's always humble after a fight. He'll always give his props to his opponent after the fight, and that's just how he is. To be honest with you.
I've seen that. I've seen people say he's always been humble, and it's only the casuals who hasn't seen him be humble. But like you've just said, he's always been humble. But I think it's just the casuals who don't see him being humble after the interviews. They only see the trash talking Conor. Don't see him the respectful Conor.
Yeah, another thing I've seen as well, mate, was Stephen A. Smith coming out and God, when he talks about MMA, man, he's good analysis on everything else like NBA now, but MMA, please stop talking about it, man. Like, the points he makes just don't make sense. Like, I just don't want to talk about it. It just,
I know, yeah.
He has a thing for Conor McGregor, you know. I just don't know what it is. He just doesn't like him, I don't feel.
He doesn't like a lot. Like, even NBA players, like, he'll go on about him all the time when there's no need to. Like, he lost the 3-1 lead, but that was a while ago. Like, you don't need to keep bad-mouthing him all the time. You know what I mean?
It's like he's a bit of a bully online. I just feel like he comes across as a bit of a bully. Honestly, he comes across as a bit of a bully, that's to be honest with you.
But some interviews are hilarious. I'll give
yeah, I'll give you that. But I think he's putting on his personality, but he just comes across as a bit of a bully.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel anyway. But like I say, I want to see the trilogy. I will always stand by Conor McGregor. That's another thing I've seen as well. I won't get into too much, but people call him a rapist and stuff, and saying all these things that have happened to him in the past. But some of these cases about the rape and that, the sexual assault he's been accused of, he's been cleared of.
Oh, wow.
He's been cleared of any wrongdoing or stuff, and it just does my head because it's always people like him that it's like, oh yeah, that's just guilty till proven innocent. When that's not the case, it's always innocent till proven guilty. That's the issue.
Look what happened with Ronaldo a few years ago. He got done, didn't he? He got took off FIFA cover and everything. Ronaldo, these rape. It was clear, but yeah. It was like there were loads of them saying that he did it, but he didn't. He got cleared. Like, and FIFA took him off cover and lot. It were like, to be fair.
People not really think that these women don't chuck themselves at him, because this obviously happens. There's no doubt about it. So you don't think they see Conor as a payday? Like, it's just. I'm not saying he's innocent, he's guilty, but I'm just saying it's not fair to just slander that name around at him. It ain't fair.
Yeah, I totally agree.
He's been proven innocent. So, in my opinion, he's innocent. If he's been proven innocent, the courts have said he's innocent. I don't care how much money he's got. If he's been proven innocent, he's innocent. Okay, that's just where I'm at with it. Like, so I just seeing rape, he's a rapist, and like someone said a comment saying, "Oh, a lot of innocent people, a load of innocent women had a sigh of relief after watching that." Shut up your tit. It's been proven innocent.
There's no need. Yeah, it's stupid. Absolutely stupid.
The thing is, would they say that to his face? This is what I just made about social media. People have become way too comfortable of slagging people off and not getting no repercussions for it.
Hide behind the monitors, as you say. They hide behind the monitors.
Exactly, mate. And it just does mean because also with all these when we kind of fights, you've got all these fans beforehand. I'm going a bit of a rage here, but just like these fans beforehand, and they're saying, "Good luck, Conor, all this. Good luck, Conor, all this." And then when he loses, it's like you wank, retire, you shit, all these sort of names. Just quoting up in room myself, but you shit, you should retire, piss off, all that sort of stuff. The same people wishing him luck before and saying you're my favorite fighter, all this bullshit. And then they're saying that before. I mean, get a grip. That's what does me head into honest with when kind of fight. It's like I love it, but you mean all these casual fans come out and they just two faced.
Yeah, definitely. There's no need for that. Like, come on, man. Just stick with him or don't stick with him. You can't support him and then support him when he loses. That's like supporting a football team and then when it loses, you pick a different one. That's just glory supporting.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And there was a quote from him a couple of years ago. So that's the ones it's resurfaced recently. 1 week they love you, the next week they hate you. Make sure you get paid both weeks. What a great quote.
Is to be fair.
But that is just legendary, mate. Like that's why I love Conor McGregor, and he's my favorite fighter. Quite like that, man. Like I will always back him. I don't care, man. I'll always back him. That's just where I am. But yeah, it was a crazy night. And listen, hopefully we see him back in there soon. I think we will.
Yeah, I hope so.
Congrats to Dustin Poirier. He deserves it, man. I'm actually gonna try some of his hot sauce. I'm gonna buy some of that stuff. Yeah, it looks pretty.
Dustin's.
Yeah, mate, it looks pretty good. Like everyone's reviewing it, saying how good it is. I saw a review saying made a Conor McGregor account with his name, and they said I can't remember. Let me find the thing. Actually, it was like something like. Let me find. I'll read it out. I know which page it was on. It was it knocks you back. It was basically explaining the fight, but talking about the hot sauce. Let me just find it. It takes 2 seconds. Where is it?
That's sick. I didn't know he made sauce. That's pretty cool.
Pardon?
I didn't know he made hot sauce. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like this Louisiana style hot sauce. It was brilliant. I'm just trying to find it, man. There it is. Top MMA comment. I think this is the one. Here it is. Right. This is a review on Poirier's page. Kicks your leg and knocks you out. You know what they say? Styles make sauces. It's not that I don't have the style to handle the heat. This sauce took out my leg. Fair play to Dustin. He's a great sauce maker. He hit me right in the muscle. There wasn't a mark on my face, but my leg was gone. Hats off to him for such a great sauce.
That's an amazing quote. That's a good slogan.
I thought that was brilliant. I can't wait to see what it says about the sauce. But I look, everyone's saying how good it is. I'm gonna buy some, get on some of the Cajun chicken, some of the steak, kid, and see how it runs, mate.
And it tastes nice.
Right, mate. So NBA, talk to me. The triple trio, mate. The trio we've all been waiting for. Talk to me about it. They're back. The
big three. To be fair, I think their debut game, they actually got beat by Cleveland. They got beat, all three of them. I think Kevin dropped 37, Kyrie dropped 38, and Harden dropped 20-something. And they actually lost in 2 overtimes to Colin Sexton. He dropped 20 straight points in 2 overtimes. And what we've seen with Brooklyn is that it looks like Harden's taking the backseat role, so he's not going to be scoring as much. I don't think he's bothered anymore. I think he's just I think he wants the ring so he can set himself, say he's an NBA champion. And Kyrie and Durant are going to be the more offensive duo. Just they're the ones who are going to score. But I've seen some trick because they look bad on the rebound in Brooklyn. Defensively, they don't look at it. And I've seen talks of them that they've been going for some trades for some height, which they need big time. Especially if the Lakers make it to the finals, who's a very physical team and a tall team. They need that height to go up against them. You can have the scorers, but you need the height and the defense in that team.
What was it like seeing Kyrie Irving back?
Oh, so he's one of my favorite players to watch. He's got, if not the best handles in the NBA. I think the reason he got these handles is because when he was little, he used to wrap a basketball in a plastic bag and dribble it around. And his handles they're fun to watch. He dropped 37, I think, and dropped 30 the other night again. it's just good to see him back. When he's there, he's amazing. Like he'll assist. Defensively, he's poor, but offensively, like he's unstoppable. To be fair.
Do we know why he was out for so long?
Yeah, he had mental health problems. I think he was going through a rough patch at the moment. I know he bought like George Floyd's family a house and that. He gave some money to homeless charity, I think like 500 grand or something in Brooklyn. He was just doing bits and bobs, but I think he was depressed. Like he was going through a rough patch. We all what's going on.
I mean, you got to respect that, but it'd be nice to be open and honest about it in future, just so people know what's going on. So he's not being slated on ESPN and other things because, like,
exactly.
it would be nice to know. I know it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to talk about, and it's definitely a real stigma that people don't understand. But he should definitely talk about that because people can help him, and a lot of people will be able to understand as well. Because if he'd have said that from the start, that people would have been like, "Well, take as much time as you need, man."
Yeah, exactly. Like you've just said, I'm sure people wouldn't have been slating him on ESPN or Twitter and that, saying like he should get traded and that when you don't know what's going on behind the closed door. Like he's going.
I even said, didn't I? I said, "Oh well, if he needs to man up, he needs to know what he's doing." Like, I didn't know what's going on. That's why he probably should have just said what's going on, so he wouldn't have got so much flack. But fair play, he's took it and he come out and told the truth. So we wish him well, man. And it's a tough stigma, so I hope he's dealing with it well.
Serious problem, innit, mental health, but
for sure, mate. So, do you think with this trio, then we obviously lost? Do you think they're still in contention for the league, or is it just slowly fading away?
Nah, they lost. I think they lost against Cleveland once, then they beat them again, and I think they're on like I don't know if it's 2-game winning streak now. Like, oh no, they lost last night because they weren't playing Durant, Kyrie, or Harden. They had to have a break, so they were having a rest. But yeah, I think they'll still get some at least the Eastern Conference Finals, their league finals, because I think it's gonna be a good game against. I think Milwaukee will make it, so it'll be between them two. But I think the finals are definitely going to be Brooklyn and I'm gonna say LA Clippers. I think they're gonna beat Lakers, to be honest.
Really, I thought the Lakers were the men.
They are, but Clippers were on a what? I think 11-game winning streak.
Clippers beat Brooklyn at start. I'm sure it was Brooklyn.
Fingy beat what do you call them? The Clippers beat LA at the start on the opening night.
Lakers.
Yeah, they beat him again. Yeah. So Clippers have never made it to their conference finals, so that's the West. They've never made it. Like, it's a pretty wild statistic, but they've never made it. So I think they need to make it this year because they've got 2 superstars. But yeah, I think they've got to make it. I think Brooklyn or Milwaukee definitely going to the finals in the East, and then it'll be Lakers or Clippers in the West.
Brilliant. So it's great, mate. It must be great now as a basketball fan seeing that trio in action. I know it's going to take a while to gel. Irving, Harden, and Durant, but listen, it takes time to gel. It takes time to make. So when they're on fire, man, it's going to be some exciting stuff.
I'm excited, yeah.
For sure, man, for sure. Right, we'll move on from that NBA. I recently watched I watched it yesterday. The Mandalorian, man. Shout out to my friend Charlie Keyworth who told me to watch this. Brilliant show, absolutely tremendous, and dare I say, Joe, better than the sequel trilogies, man.
Oh yeah, it probably is.
Dare I say that? Just amazing, like Baby Yoda or Grogu, whatever you want to call
him. Grogu, yeah, but so you can't call him that now. It's Grogu.
Grogu, man, it's just him in the Mandalorian, man. Another thing as well, Carl Weathers in that was amazing.
Really good.
Apollo Creed from Rocky.
Oh yeah, I forgot you in that. Yeah.
He's brilliant, mate. The way he goes, Mando, it's just brilliant, mate. There's like a video of him just saying, just like it's just every time. Yeah, I can't remember his real name in the thing, but every time Carl Weathers says Mando, it's like 2 minutes long. It's brilliant, mate. Honestly, just give that a watch. Amazing.
I will do after I've finished my anime and that. I'll have to get a watch with a free time. I'm gonna watch The Scarlet Witch on Disney Plus. I'm gonna watch that, but Mando. It's been I haven't watched it in 2 years because I remember it came out at the same time as The Witcher, so I decided to watch The Witcher and then I kind of forgot about it. Then I'm gonna watch it when Grogu pops up, but I've never got around to watching it yet. Even though I love Star Wars, I've just got around to watch it.
What do you know that's happened in it, so I can talk about it a little bit?
I know. Can I talk about I know what happened at the end. Obviously, I know what happens on the last episode. Doesn't Ahsoka come in it?
The Jedi.
Yeah, Ahsoka.
Yeah, she's in it. Do you know that Boba
She's
Fett's in
sick.
it?
Yeah, she's good. I know.
Boba Fett's in it as well, if you know that.
Boba Fett. Yeah, forgot about that.
Mate, it's the actual guy who plays Jango Fett in.
Yeah, I know in the prequels.
But obviously they've made it look like it's his son. Obviously, mate, that was
Yeah,
amazing. Like when I seen the guy and I hear him, I thought, I know who that is. I know who
yeah.
that is. That's
seen
Boba
that.
Fett. Like when he picked up his aunt, mate.
I know they gave him a right badass scene where we're taking stormtroopers out left and right. That scene was fire. Like Disney, the Rogue One were amazing. I mean, let's not forget the Darth Vader scene is probably the best lightsaber fight Disney has ever produced. Like them because the prequels were awful. I don't lightsaber fights were awful. And then like the Mandalorian.
You mean the trilogy
Trequels? Yeah, it's the Disney ones. Yeah, they're awful. And then the Mandalorian's meant to be right good. Like you've told me, my brother's told me, everyone's told me how good it is. So I'm definitely going to get a watch. But it proves that Disney can make good Star Wars content.
Oh yeah, for sure, mate. It's just I don't know what went on with that Star Wars Disney series, Star Wars films, but if they followed the Mandalorians, they would have done so much better. It's just
Even Rogue One.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, the Mandalorians were the best things I've ever watched. I said it to you today. Like,
wow.
And when Skywalker came in at the end, man, oh, chills.
I know he came in. Yeah.
I was looking, going, holy shit, he's here. Skywalker. Oh my god, that little short clip of him in the Mandalorian, that 3-minute clip, did him more justice than the whole trilogy sequels did.
Wow.
So much more justice, mate. And that's literally said like 3 words. And honestly, the CGI was amazing.
It looks good because I know they tried it on Rogue One and the CG didn't look that good. So then I think everyone were a bit wary with him doing it for Luke Skywalker, but he ended up.
Oh, the Leia one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's another one, the General. I forgot his name.
The General one looked pretty real. The General one did look pretty real in Rogue One, I thought, but the Leia was a bit, you could see.
General and Leia, them two, and then also Luke looks amazing. That just shows you that we might see like some dead actors in movies. Maybe if they're allowed to use CG, you could see him doing that in the future.
Yeah, if it's done right. I mean, when he comes in with hood up and he's in the
lightsaber shines.
Skywalkers love always, man.
But Luke Skywalker's my favourite, so it's exciting to see him.
Black glove, he's got that like metal hand
with his robotic hand,
and you just sit. And when the plane comes in, have you seen the clip or not?
Yeah.
When the plane comes in, and they say, "I wonder who that is," and I'm like, "I know who that fucking is." Comes in lightsaber, mate, chill.
Badass. It was like Darth Vader's scene, innit? It was literally like Darth Vader's scene. It was so well done. Like it were good. I've not even watched Mandalorian, but I had to watch the Skywalker scene. It had to be done.
He finally fulfilled his father's legacy, man. Finally fulfilled it properly in the Mandalorian. I hope we see some more cameos in the Mandalorian and more Jedis. It's pretty cool, when you see some Jedis in it. But there's not many you can put it. I think they'll put Ben Solo in at some point.
That might be tough because this is just set after episode 5, isn't
it? It's set after episode Return of the Jedi, isn't it?
Yeah, episode 5. So
I'm just saying it depends how many series. There could be a young Ben Solo in it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because there's no real backstory to Ben Solo.
I've told you before. I've told you a backstory, Anna, that Luke and his wife were Jedis because in the Jedi Knights, and they have a son, but they can't look after him, so they give him to Leia and Han Solo, and then that's where he becomes Ben Solo. That's in the comics. It is canon, but that's in the comics.
What does canon mean? Like true?
Yeah, it's true. Like, yeah, it's official. You know, like some of the games are like it's in the Star Wars universe. Like, there's so many possibilities for Star Wars.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it was just a theory.
No, yeah, it's a comic, but yeah, it's true. Like, that's like a full-on fact.
No, brilliant. That's because he went with Luke Skywalker. We could see some Ben Solo cameos, some small cameos of a young Ben Solo training with Grogu as Luke Skywalker's teaching him.
Could see Palpatine.
That would be interesting as well, seeing how the Snoke came to power. I was surprised they didn't do that in The Mandalorian.
No, that's wow. I know the directors on that were gassing him up, saying, "Oh, he's right overpowered, and he's like on the level of Sith." Like, he didn't do well. He died. He did literally nothing. It were a waste of potential. But like you just said, I'd love to see him. Like his backstory, how strong he is, and everything. It'd be interesting.
I think he'll have an appearance in Mandalorian because there is some like Gideon is in it. I think it's Gideon Maxwell.
Yeah,
I think we'll see them. I think we will see it at some point. I'm not sure how it's gonna work. Have you seen that Baby Yoda goes with Luke Skywalker? Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not sure how it's gonna work going with if Baby Yoda's gonna be in it next season because he has to be in it in my opinion. He has
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Everyone like will be fuming if he isn't. Like him his relationship in Mando is just like something else. But
It is.
depends how long it takes him to train him. Because like
I think it will. I don't think it'll be long because apparently in his years, Grogu's 50 years old already, so he's old. So like, because Yoda were like 3,000.
400 years, something, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah. So like, I think he grows quicker. So I don't think it'll be long. And we've seen him. He's picked up that buffalo or whatever it was and then he's healed, and he can force choke, which broke the internet because Grogu using the force choke and pulling that thing. But like he can use dark and light sides of the Force, which is interesting to see. Which is same as Mace Windu, so like it'll be cool to see.
I wonder what'll happen. In the end, I don't know if he'll kill him off because he has to. There's just have to be some reason why he wasn't in this. I know obviously that wasn't planned, but why he wasn't in the Star Wars trilogy sequels? Because if he's that powerful, why wasn't he there to?
You see, this is the thing. We don't know nothing about Yoda's race. Even in the comics, we don't know nothing. We know there's only been 3 types of Yodas. We've had obviously Yoda. There's the female one on the Jedi Council in the prequels. We don't see her a lot, and then we've got Grogu. That is it. We don't know where they're from, how if they're all this strong, or we need to find out a bit more about Yoda's race.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting if he just completely shuts himself off from the Force. Grogu just that's why he's because there's a reason like why he's not featured in the trilogy sequels that he should be like just because how powerful he is. You think he would be if Luke Skywalker can't train Rey, why can't Grogu?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know if he'll kill him off.
I don't know if this were right that the Empire wanted Mandalorian to take Grogu to them because they were going to make clones of him to make an army of Grogu's.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, that'd have been overpowered, wouldn't it? Really, like they had all Grogu. So
yeah, for sure, mate. Right, so we'll move on from that. But yeah, talking about TV shows as well and TV series. But let me just say, yeah, if you haven't watched The Mandalorian, watch it because it's amazing. That goes for anyone that's listening. And you, Joe, get that shit watched.
Yeah, I need some.
But yeah, another thing that came out yesterday that I seen, it just blew the internet up. It's trending all over. Harry Potter TV series. I mean, first of all, Joe, it's in early development yet. What do you think of that?
Well, I know you're a massive fan of this trailer, so you're probably going to be excited. But for me, I haven't watched Harry Potter since I think the Deathly Hallows back in 2012. So I haven't really watched it. But obviously, Harry Potter, it'd be amazing. Like, what would the show be about? Would it be about Snape? Because I've seen people want Ben Solo's actor, Kylo Ren's actor, to play a young Severus Snape, which I could literally see him playing that.
Same.
Yeah, so I could see that. Or would it be about Ganondorf? Like, would it be Fantastic Beasts, like in between the Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts films? Like, the Harry Potter's like Star Wars, isn't it? Like, the doors, what you could open for that universe is, like, let's say hundreds.
Yeah, exactly. One theory I did read where if this is true, I said just leave it alone. Then leave it alone because it's one of them things where you're just not going to mess with the storyline. If they're redoing the films as a series, like fuck that shit, man.
Nah, that's
don't ruin something that's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. That'll never happen. No, they'll never reboot Harry Potter. Well, maybe like a few years, like.
But that would cause some massive outrage, I feel.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not even like the biggest fan of Harry Potter, but to see someone else play it, Harry Potter, and it's not Daniel Radcliffe. Like, come on, man, that can't be having that. Daniel Radcliffe is Harry Potter, isn't he? Like, it's like Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. Like, you don't want to see anyone else playing them.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But what was suggested was what you brought up is the Marauders. Of that being were a group of 4 Gryffindors and classmates: Remus Lupin, Peter Pettigrew, Sirius Black, and James Potter. And obviously, you've got Severus Snape and Slytherin. The 4 attended Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry from 1971 to 1978. They had a knack for rule breaking and mischief making, and obviously, Voldemort was in that year as well.
Oh, so. I'd love to see Voldemort. I love Voldemort. I'd love to see more about Voldemort.
Everyone has always wanted to see that the Marauders come to play. and I feel that would be a great idea, something like that. I mean, dude, I'm all for that.
100%.
Like, I'm all for that. Another idea that was suggested was a post Harry Potter one. So after they've left, where
Could be his
you know what?
kids. Could be his kids. We seen it where they had kids, didn't they? It
I'm
could be
not.
his kids.
Yeah, here's the thing with that though. If I'm presuming she'll be involved, J.K. Rowling will be involved. The OGs don't like her, do they now, because of her transgender comments? Like Emma
Yeah.
Watson has a massive dislike for her. So does Daniel
Oh wow,
Radcliffe.
really? Emma Watson does.
She's a
I didn't
massive
know that.
trans supporter, isn't she? And Daniel Radcliffe come out writing a massive essay saying how he's just disgusted by the comments and he
Oh
hopes
wow.
it ruin the books and the films.
Oh wow, I didn't know that either. Wow.
So I'm not sure if that would happen, to be honest with you.
I guess like I think she'd be involved in the writing. I'd say some of the plot, but I don't think she'd have too much to do. Do you know, like thingy wise, oh go on, what do you call it? The actual
Production.
and that, yeah. I think she'd do some of the writing, but I'd like to see like the kids, like Harry Potter's kids, Ron. Did Ron and Hermione got together, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
They called their kids like. Well, I'd like to see a Voldemort spin-off. I love Voldemort. I want to see more of Voldemort. Like to see a Voldemort spin-off, how he became bad, like what happened to him and that. You know what I mean? Like I'd love to see a Voldemort spin-off.
Exactly. That would be brilliant, mate. Like the post Harry Potter. I mean, I'm hugely for it. Like I feel like you should leave
Yeah,
that sort of era alone. That's perfectly
definitely.
written. Yeah, I'll leave it alone. But I think before that, the Marauders, man, that would be amazing. Like, I'm all for that shit. Like, do that.
Definitely.
Even with Voldemort spin off, that would be crazy, man.
Yeah, well, I'd love to see him.
Like, and it would help you, like Cobra Kai does. It would help you understand the grey areas of why he is like he is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like with Crease, like why is he like that? But what happened to Voldemort? I know we've got ideas, but like why did he go down that dark path? Like what happened to him to make him be like that?
100%. And like I say, that serious black Snape one, man, that would be a
Everyone
Adam
wants
Driver
that.
to play him.
Adam Driver, that's him. I've
That would be
seen
amazing.
everyone wants that. I've seen people photoshopping Adam Driver on his body, and it looks like him as well. You know what I mean? Like he'll even acts like him, which I'd love to see a young Severus Snape. To be honest, like it'd be a good series. I'd watch that.
In it, mate, I will watch that like Severus Snape, like because everyone like loves him now. Because obviously,
Yeah.
at the end, it was showing that he was actually a really good guy, and that would be brilliant. Like, he has the perfect personality, like you say, like Adam Driver. Like he looks like him, he acts
does.
like him. He's like a mini Harrison Ford and a mini what's the real guy's name who played Severus Snape?
It's Harrington in it, submitting it. I thought.
Oh, that's too many. I'll figure it out. The guy who plays Severus
Alan,
Snape.
it's Alan something, I think.
Oh, yeah, it is an all. I don't remember his name, but he's passed away now, isn't he? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, passed away. I mean, I wonder if if they did a post one, they'd bring like Hagrid on that back. I mean, I don't know.
That's the giant, isn't it?
It would be surreal. Yeah, the giant. It would be surreal seeing all them guys back in that role, man. I do love Harry Potter. It would be
like
surreal.
childhood, isn't it?
It's like my child come back, but then again, if they ruined it, I would never forgive it.
Yeah, well, yeah. To be fair,
fucking huge risk. It's like Cobra Kai, man. If they ruin Cobra Kai, but obviously they haven't. If they've ruined it, then no one would forgive them, man, because they've ruined a franchise. There,
it's like huge. It's a bit different. But I'm just going to talk about an anime for a second. Like I have watched the first season of this anime was perfect for me. Like the characters were amazing. Like I know it didn't end properly, but for me it ended good. Like I don't want to ruin it, and because I know the animation, the music, and like the entire second season's filler. Like when we all know about filler, you know what I mean? Like and so like I'd prefer to leave a good note. And I've seen like Attack on Titan studio getting a lot of hate. Like I prefer the old one, but that episode, what happened on Saturday was speechless. So it can end up good when say if it goes go a different direction, but then like you've said, it more likely goes bad if they try and touch like the originals.
If you're gonna do it, J.K. Rowling needs to be involved in the writing process because she is the heart and soul of Harry Potter. HBO Max. I mean, not sure what link they have to Harry Potter. Usually, that's a bit of a weird one.
It's because it's owned by Warner Bros. Warner Bros.
That'll be it then. But I just hope they don't do what
owns HBO. That's why they
right. Well, I just hope they don't
Game
do
of Thrones.
Mate. Oh really?
Yeah, they own all sorts. Then
what I hope they don't do is, mate, is do it like a Disney Plus, I've ruin it because that's what I want to see a friend. I don't want to see another piece of my childhood ruined. I just don't want to see that. Honestly.
I totally agree. Like we said, the Star Wars were bad, but they're redeeming themselves a bit with the Mandalorian, and I think Disney was definitely overhyped. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think they've took too long to get some stuff out, like the Marvel stuff, especially like the Scarlet Witch has only just come out. I've heard some good things. It's weird, but I've heard some good things from it.
I mean,
I'm gonna get that a watch.
it's again like Obi-Wan Kenobi, like the whole storyline has been filmed for that for a while, and they're only starting filming it in March. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's 2022. People gotta wait for that. It's crazy. Same with the Mandalorian. People gotta wait 2022 now for season 3. Yeah, someone's having to get
Yeah.
lighting, bro.
2 secs and is that better?
A little bit.
I'll do
That's
that.
better. Yeah, he's back. He's back. But yeah, like the way that is a good point actually. They're making people wait too long for these sort of things. Like, Obi-Wan Kenobi, I've got to wait another year for that now. Like, it's just getting a bit ridiculous. No trailers or anything. Nothing released. Good news about Hayden Christensen, obviously. Then Mandalorian got to wait another year for, maybe deep into 2022. I mean, I get 2020 was a crazy year, but you could have found ways around it, man.
Definitely. Wait, look what happened with Netflix this year. I've had to wait 2 years for Stranger Things season 4. It's one of my favorite shows. It's tough. I've had to wait 2 years for The Witcher, which got a lot of hype. It was competing with The Mandalorian at 2019 Christmas. So that got a lot of hype. And then I don't even know. That's about it, really. Like, I think Corona obviously stops that a lot. But I'm waiting a while for it's Sex Education, another show, which I'm excited about. But we've heard nothing from it yet. But I really want to watch it.
The thing is, when you leave something too long, it builds expectation, and it's hard to meet that expectation. I mean, Cobra Kai, we said it was long, but it met that expectation by a mile. Like it just surpassed it, man. That's the problem when you do it. You bring up expectation too high, and you can really undersell yourself when you do things like that.
See, I'm going to talk about a show what I love for a quick second. Game of Thrones did that. I think that show took an extra year off. We're a year and a half and 2 years. It took off to get this season right, and it were a catastrophe. There were a Starbucks cup edited in, like one of that meant to be the biggest fight in the entire show were an utter disappointment. Like the biggest bad guy got killed in 1-8. Like I don't even think he killed anyone. Literally died in 1-8. Like that season was absolutely atrocious. Like I'm not even a diehard Game of Thrones fan. I was angry, but I know people who live and die for that show was furious. I mean, they was not having it at all. Like, we were insane.
I mean, everyone says it's the worst season, the worst ending of TV history.
I totally agree. I have to agree with that. It is awful. Yeah. I have to. It was bad.
Yeah, I can remember it came out. Everyone was hyping it up, especially YouTuber I follow, McJuggernuggets. He was loving it.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh shit, was that?" It's a shame when the things like that get ruined, when it's so everyone loves it for so many years, and then you don't cap it off. I mean, no matter how good the series was, an ending is always forged in your mind, and when you rewatch it, that ending is forged in your mind again.
Exactly. So like, I'm planning to rewatch it soon, but I'm not going to watch that last season. I can't do it. It's like my favorite character, Jon Snow. His entire story was completely pointless at the end. He started off somewhere and then ended up back at where he started. So the character development a character went insane in minutes. Like, I don't think the book hasn't finished. George R.R. Martin said the book is coming out soon, but this has been years, and I think he had some what do you call it, influence in the show in the final season, but I don't think he had a lot. And I think this final season strayed away from the books, and that's why it got a lot of hate, because I know that there's obviously loyal fans with the books, but they didn't really follow that. I'm sure they didn't anyway.
Yeah, it's crazy. I say it's important you cap off a TV show, and the ending should always be thought about when you start a series. You should always think about how that ending is going to be influenced and
100%.
how it's going to be capped off right. That's always important in my opinion, but it can't be a good ending of a show because it always will. If the series has not always been as good, but you end it right, you get that good feeling about it, and you can leave that series alone now, knowing you've been satisfied by it.
I'm gonna quickly the greatest show ever did that was Breaking Bad, the greatest ending in TV history. Then nothing will beat that. That were amazing.
Gil. You love your Breaking Bad, don't you? I've disagreed. I think Prison Break is the best, man.
I know you've said that, but you need to give Breaking Bad a big chance. The first season, to anyone, the first season is awful.
I do need to watch it. I haven't said I'm gonna watch it for. I know too many spoilers though. It's like watching something. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
because
mean?
think me and other person's been spoiling it for you. And
Kean Richards, that's naming, man. That's
Yeah.
naming. Kean Richards sabotaged me ever watching it. My dad says it's brilliant. I mean, I will watch it at some point. But Prison Break, I've always loved that. I watched it about 6 times over. So
You have. You've said to me it's
I'll
your
always stay
favorite.
loyal, man. I'll always stay loyal.
That and Suits. That and Suits.
You can't be a good super. Hey, we need to do an episode one time. We're not doing it now, but an episode where we just talk about our favorite TV shows. That's
Yeah,
better.
definitely.
Our favorite TV shows, like top 5. We did sitcoms, but TV shows is a bit different. It's more in depth and
Yeah, we do need to do that. To be fair,
that would be a good episode. But yeah, that was a good chat about that anyway. But I'll move on to something I'm a bit ashamed to talk about. Not too ashamed, but you know what? It's happening, so let's talk about it. Jake Paul.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
This is Ben asking. When people ask
I was
me,
gonna say when you were telling me the topics. Where's the Jake Paul thing? Because I knew you wouldn't be able to not talk about it.
I mean, when people ask me, what's this? Why do you hate? Why not hate? Why do you dislike boxing over MMA so much? And what's the state of boxing? There's your answer, man. It's not even that Jake Paul's fighting. It says he's fighting Ben Askren, who's a wrestler, never even boxed in his life, and just fighting someone who can at least throw a punch. I mean, he's a professional fighter. He's a professional fighter, yes, but if you've ever watched Ben Askren fight, he never uses his stand-up ever. And when he uses his stand-up, he gets clipped. He got outstruck by Damian Maia, who can barely strike himself. I'm not trying to shit on Ben Askren. He's one of my favorite fighters.
Yeah.
He can't box that well. Like, he ain't a good boxer. Like, and Jake Paul, I'll give him credit, is a half decent boxer. Decent boxer. I don't want to hate on him just all the time because he's doing this and that, but he's a half decent, and it's gonna put MMA to shame when he knocks him out, because he will knock Ben Askren out, I believe. And Ben Askren's tough. He's a professional MMA fighter. Yes, he's been hit by the best. He's fought the best in the world, no doubt. But he's also never stood there and striked with the best in the world. He's took him down and used his in-game wrestling on him. Because when you got wrestling, you don't need to strike. When you got a tremendous Olympic level wrestler like him, you don't need to strike because you can do that. And this is my issue, man. If I hadn't seen him against Damian Maia on the feet, then I might have been, oh, you know what? He's not. We'll see. But I've seen his striking, and he was losing a striking battle with Damian Maia. That's a scary thought.
Well, yeah, like you've said, UFC. If he loses, this is gonna look bad. Like, you don't want that deal. Like, he's gone to war with UFC. Like, he's been after Dana White. He's been after everyone in the. I don't know why the UFC all of a sudden. He's been after everyone.
I'm not sure why the UFC have allowed it. Because he's still in the contract with the UFC. I'm not sure why they've allowed it.
Oh, wow, is it?
Jake Paul said that himself. Said he's not sure why the UFC allowed him to go fight Ben Askren.
Oh wow!
Because Ben Askren's under contract with UFC still, even though he retired. So it's super surprised. I am, to be honest with you, too, because I'm not going to say when, because it's a bit disrespectful, but if he loses, which I do think he will, a lot of people have predicted he will, even MMA fans and stuff and fighters. If he loses, it's not going to be massive, but he's going to be saying, "Oh, I've done to MMA fighter now." Like, but he can't. The thing is, he can't box Ben Askren. It just got in the sense. I know one of my favorite fighters is going to get knocked out. I just think he's going to get knocked out. By a YouTuber, yeah. I'll be respectful. He's all right boxer. I'll give him. By an average amateur YouTuber boxer. Let's be fair.
Yeah. I know he's not fighting, but I want to see KSI versus Jake Paul so much. Why won't you just do it? Like, come on, man.
I mean, when people say to me, "Oh, do you hate this YouTube boxing thing?" No, I don't. I don't hate it at all.
Yeah.
I've got respect for it, man. It's bringing eyes to the sport. But these fights like Ben Askren, wrestler versus Jake Paul, it's just a complete.
It's unfair. And he's going to brag about it, innit? Like, oh, I'm 2-0, Jake Paul said. He went up against Annie Gable, who's been boxing for a couple of months. He went up against, Nate Robson. And
to be fair, Gable fighting for a while, though. I think he was set the same time as Jake.
He were awful, weren't he? Like, he were on his knees the entire fight. Like, he was, like, crouching and that. You've got Nate Robson. Yeah, he were an athlete, but he only been boxing for a few months. And then when he was going on about Conor McGregor, he's like, 1-0 as a box. 1-0 as a box. And that's because he fought Floyd Mayweather. Like, come on, man. You can't compare that. I don't know if he were doing it to wind people up, which...
Yeah, of course he is. It's all a gimmick with him. That's what you got to learn. At first, I was like, I hate this dude. If he's just an idiot, I hate this dude. But, I've become more accepting of it now. He's just playing a character. He's trying to make some money. Fair play to the kid. I've actually heard he's a nice guy off camera, to be honest with you. From what I've seen.
I used to like him. Like back in like 2017 and that, he He was good to watch. Like obviously Logan he probably was my favorite. He's grown up a lot. Look how much he's matured. Like it's insane to see how much he's matured. And I'm happy he got against Floyd, but like I don't know why I said that. Obviously
that shouldn't be happening, but we spoke about that before. That definitely shouldn't be happening. But yeah, I mean, he's a nice guy. The people who have spoke about him said he's a decent guy off camera. Like it is all a gimmick to make money and getting him. And then fair play to him, he wants to fight, but I'm not expecting like this. And everyone's saying, "Oh, fight a real pro boxer." I didn't expect him to do that. He's not
lose, wouldn't he? Like
lose for him, man. Why would he do that? It's not going to bring any interest. They've been training a lot longer than he has. It doesn't make sense. Just to get his name tarnished. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't expect him to fight a pro boxer. But I expect him to fight someone who can fight boxing.
Yeah, like someone who can box. You know what I mean? Like
Evander Kane, for say, who's an NHL player, a bit of boxing experience. Maybe do it.
Wow.
Bit of numbers to that. Who called him out? You know, get some people like, and then make like Bisping, Dylan Dennis. People that like, got a little bit of stand up to him.
I've heard it. Yeah,
hasn't got much stand up to him. Like he's like apparently he used to do a bit of boxing training when he first started me, but we never seen that. And when we did see it, it doesn't look sharp. That's
it looks stiff. Like he looks a bit slow and
stiff, slow. That's the issue. Jake Paul, and he's just had hip replacement. That's what worries him well. He's just had hip replacement. Wow. And you need your hips in boxing.
Yeah, definitely.
Because of the pivot and stuff.
Yeah.
You need your hips. That was a terrible punch, but you need your hips in boxing, sort of thing. But
definitely.
You need your hips, like pivot your shots and stuff like that. But that's my scary thing as well. And Jake Paul, let's be honest, he's quick. He is very quick, man.
He is. Yeah, he is.
Quick. And I'm a bit worried.
I've got to admit.
It was going to sting him and hurt him, man. And he's saying about 5 seconds and he's locking him out quicker than Masvidal did. I don't see that happening. Because you have to count first, don't you? So I don't see, he's just talking there. But you know what? Fair play to the kid. He's got to get a name like Ben Askren on his record. If he beats him, I would like to see him fight. To be fair, I do like the idea of him fighting MMA fighters, to be honest with you. That's not a bad idea, but let's fight someone that can strike half decent.
Yeah, like you've said, like someone who can box in like UFC, and they're like who's good at striking.
Like a Bisping, a Woodley. Someone who's going to bring names. Yeah. A Thompson, maybe. A Thompson would beat him easily. A lot of these guys, I think, would beat him, but like, Conor McGregor, let's not be silly. Like, Conor McGregor would beat him easy. That's not be silly. But some of these names that bring a little bit of interest, man. Like Dylan Dennis, that's a good fight. I like that fight.
You've said to me before that that'd be a good fight.
I don't mind it, but you know what? Fair play to the kid. April 17th, it's going down. Jake Paul versus Ben Askren. We'll see what happens. I don't know if you've seen actually, mate. Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather have been pushed back.
Oh, is it?
It's been postponed, yeah. So,
wow.
A lot of people are predicting it was not going to go ahead now because of the backlash.
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow, that's interesting.
But Logan Paul's, I think he's disputing that on his podcast yesterday. Seen the new podcast set up, by the way.
What is it? Is the guest on it this week?
He's just talking amongst friends. They've had the new setup, haven't they? Have you seen it?
No. I've only watched a few of his podcasts. I've watched like the Mike Tyson one.
Let me just get it up now. I'll show the people. On share screen. Let me just find it. Yeah, it looks pretty cool, honestly, mate. It's a because he said it was a funny quote. It looks like the inside of SpongeBob's arse or something.
I've seen that quote. I think I've seen that quote. I ain't seen the video.
His old setup looks like that anyway.
I've seen his old one, definitely. Like the Mike Tyson one were interesting. When they were taking mushrooms and that.
Yeah, that was very good. I'm a big, obviously I don't like drugs or anything like that, but I think that was a pretty interesting podcast.
It was that Mike Tyson were off his head. Like, I thought you were going to kill that pigeon, you know, when he were stroking. It's like, what's the point of this? Like, talking about life and that. I was like, whoa.
Really?
Yeah. Have you not seen that clip?
No, I haven't actually. Like,
I'll send it, yeah.
This is set up. Can you see it?
TikTok. Yeah. I think, oh, wow.
So, like, innit? Not too bad, I don't think.
To be fair.
Like, it looks a lot more professional. Yeah, they did a podcast yesterday, innit, for the first time. And I thought that was pretty interesting, to be honest with you, the way they did it. But, yeah, like, fair play to me. I'm a big fan of Logan.
I've always been a fan of him. I stuck. Obviously, the thing what happened with him, that were bad. But like you just said, he's matured.
I wasn't a fan before, but I think he's matured, like you say, and really picked himself up.
I totally agree with that. He definitely has.
Which is good. Which is good for a person of his standard. And I like how he took the KSI loss as well. Took on the chin. Like a fair
they have respect for each other.
Yeah.
And they have respect.
Do you think that ever happens, by the way? KSI versus Logan Paul.
Yeah. I hope it does. Wait,
I mean the podcast, not the fight again. I mean the podcast.
The podcast. That'd be good to see. Yeah.
They planned it, didn't they? But they wanted to. They were going to do it.
Oh, I hope they do it. I mean, they could do it over Zoom. Obviously, I know like we can't travel now, can we? So they'd probably be waiting a while. But like, I'd love to see that. To be fair, because I know KSI had some mad respect for him because they were protesting, weren't he, in when we June or something. And KSI like that means a lot to him and everything. Like they've got respect for each other. Like they talk and that. Know what I mean? So like, it's good to see that from them both as they were going at each other, weren't they, all the time? Making diss tracks and that, but like we don't really want to see that.
Yeah, I'm a bit past that. Do you think that with that though, it's more hate or just for the show between
Just
KSI and Logan?
I think it's just for the show. I do think they respect each other. They like each other, but I do think it's for show, definitely.
With Jake and KSI, do you think it's the same or do you think it's different? I think it's a
I
hate
think
there, mate.
I think they say there. I don't think KSI likes him at all. I've seen a clip going around recently where Jake Paul were asking for something off KSI, and KSI just stormed past him, and Jake Paul were kind of shocked and scared. No, I mean, like KSI just weren't bothered about him at all.
Have you seen that old clip of Jake Paul behind KSI?
Think so.
And he's like fanboying over him. He's about to ask him for a picture.
That's the video. Yeah, and KSI just goes past him, didn't he?
Yeah, I've seen that. It was really funny. It was funny, crazy that because they used to hang out together. Like KSI hung out with Logan Paul before all this.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Not
Like a concert of Rewind and that back in 2017. Like everyone got on, but like I know him and Jake Paul. That's definitely hate. Them two do not like each other. I don't think there's respect there for him. I just think KSI hates him.
Yeah, he hates him.
Well, yeah.
Like even when Jake Paul showed KSI respect, he's been like, there's one quote he said, "Fuck off, you cunt," or something like that. He just doesn't like him, does he? Like when Logan showed KSI respect, it's been the other way around. Like he's been like, "Cheers, man," and all that sort of stuff.
It has. I don't know what it is. Maybe because Jake Paul does like shit there a lot more. Like, and he, I know this is a bit off topic, but I know he broke COVID rules again the other day for having a party. But like,
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing. I don't think the rules apply to them, do they?
Yeah, exactly. Like with all these TikTokers and all them, they think they can go and do what they want. Like, you know what I mean? But I mean, you've got people like and that, like the Sidemen who used to meet together all the time, didn't they? And do like, but they aren't. They're just doing Zoom calls now.
Yeah. Oh wow, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, it's weird times, man. It's weird times, but yeah, like I say, it's all. I think a lot of it's for show. A lot of it makes money, doesn't it? So that's why they do it.
Yeah,
but I think
definitely.
that Jake Paul versus KSI one, it's definitely hatred. I'd love to interview some of them in the future. That'd be great, to be honest with you.
What? KSI especially.
And actually, I've got a good quick announcement actually on here to make. Let me just double check it's the right date before I do announce it. We have an actor coming on the podcast pretty soon from Cobra Kai. Yeah, makes a short cameo, man. But I've set it up. He's also in Ozark.
The Netflix show.
Yeah, he's an actor.
Oh, man.
Rick Perez. Let me just check the date. So we're filming with him on February 2nd, midday. He's in Cobra Kai. He makes a short cameo. And he's the guy that says, "Don't get all high and mighty, LaRusso. You're the one that taught those kids that Miyagi crap. Your student hurt Diaz. You reap what you sow." School meeting, man.
That's exciting. I remember that scene. That was a good scene.
So he's coming on the podcast. Very excited about that. First actor, 50k followers on Instagram. Actually, it's big following, to be honest with you. And also trying to set some up with Joe Zio as well, who plays Kyla, speaking to his manager. So.
Oh wow, really?
Someone's gonna hopefully get set up with that as well. Hopefully, so we'll hopefully sort that out. No, but nothing confirmed. Just send an email. So
still though, yeah.
He mentioned me back to me to send an email. So working on that. There's
always that hope in there.
But I'm glad we're getting into this Hollywood stuff because I like getting into these Hollywood actors and stuff. And it's a bit like the thrill you get with basketball players, man. It's like speaking to someone in that sort of realms and being
an American. It's a totally different thing from I was like obviously the language barrier. What I had a bit like so. I called football soccer a few times, and like they didn't understand me all the time, so I had to like speak a bit slower. You know what I mean? But it's weird. It's kind of weird talking to them. You know what I mean? It's good to hear their accent like face to face.
It's that interesting. It's something you want to know everything, don't you? So it's so intriguing to stay in American stores. And things like I'd love to live there for a few years and just see what it's like. Be brilliant.
Definitely.
I mean that Mark Maltsby you've been to is not actually out yet, but that was a big one, wasn't it, for you? And that was, I think would you say that's your favourite one out of the lot you did?
Like Jonathan were good, Briggs were good also, but yeah, he gave a lot of good answers. Like he said he had COVID and that, and he's a basketball player. Like he were a walk on to a team, which is impressive. And yeah, he was just a nice guy to talk to on that. All of them were good to talk to. It's enjoyable.
I want to know this. Be honest with it. Be honest with it as well. You know, when you were sat in that Zoom call and you're waiting for him to come, what are your feelings like? Because I'll be honest, mine are Jesus Christ. I'm fucking shitting it here. Like when anyone joins, like fucking hell, oh my god. Like I could be my friend or anything. Like oh my god, I am terrified to do this. What is your feelings like going into it?
I usually just look on my phone, try and calm. I'm more like before I'm waiting in the Zoom call. I'm more nervous before I'm in the Zoom call. I'd say definitely, you know, leading up to it. It's like this is a good way to put it. When I'm waiting in queue for a roller coaster, my stomach's going. When I'm on the roller coaster, I kind of calm down a bit. I'm like, right, this is happening. You've just got to get through it. That's how I find it. Like I'm nervous. Don't get me wrong, but when the interview's about 5 minutes in, I start to like speak slower, talk a bit more. That's what we've got to do, innit?
Yeah, for sure. My nerves go through the roof. When it starts, I'm like, I got you doing all that sort of stuff. It's good, mate. But before, mate, I can imagine when we do this Rick Perez interview, when we do the podcast, I ain't gonna be in the call with you, mate, going absolutely bananas. I'm shitting me saying because that's always I'm. But when it starts, mate, I'm like, oh, it's good, it's chill. I'm good now.
Yeah, it is there.
But before, mate,
oh, I get nervous before big time. It's like say like 5 minutes when I'm sat in the call, I'll just kind of sit on my phone, listen to a bit of music for a couple of minutes. Sorry, and that kind of chill out a bit, and then but like honestly, before I'm even in this call, I get nervous before I'm in the call. Definitely, that's the most nerve-wracking part.
That's why I try and message you before. I'm like, if I don't message him, I bet he's me panicking like me. So I just try. That's why I always send you like, you know, what?
Yeah.
I say, oh yeah, repeat stuff. And I know you already told me this, but like, yeah, I'm just going to tell you again, just to keep you occupied for a little bit.
Yeah, so like you said, do my intro, which I do before all the time now, before they come in, so I can get it right. Ask them a question after the intro to get the conversation going.
Exactly, that's what you got to do, mate. But even when they come in, it's just simple. Like I'm not going to try and pick Keane out and slight him here, but what Keane did wrong with talking before is that he didn't create conversation beforehand. I mean, that's important when you're doing an interview. It's just create a little bit of conversation, and make you feel comfortable, but let alone make them feel comfortable as well. So then they feel, you know what, he's a good lad. Let's just do this now. They're probably just as nervous. They're probably just as nervous as man. And
well, yes. Especially from someone from the UK reaching out and asking an American to, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be a bit nerve-wracking, I'd say.
So anyone that's listening, I've had a few people actually reach out to me for asking advice and stuff. Not just trying to big myself up and everything. They just see what I do and they say how do you do this and all that. But one thing I would say is just try and make things calm with yourself and them, and that's how you do it. Is create a little bit of conversation before and off camera.
Yeah,
and the same.
I do. Yeah.
Same when you.
All I usually say is, hello, how's it going? Have you had a busy day? And they'll be like, yeah, and I'll be like, yeah, I can't lie, I haven't had a much busy day today. I've had kind of like a chilled out day today. So that's usually what I say. That's
vibing out, as they say.
Work is for tomorrow, you know what I mean? Work is for tomorrow.
It's going to be a busy night tonight, mate. I've got loads of stuff to do. I told you earlier, didn't I? I edited the Chef FC Women interview. I have to edit that, so tomorrow. This, I'll probably edit tomorrow. And then I've got the studies work to do, feature news video. Mate, honestly.
I've got to do loads tonight. I've got to do my last lit review. I've got to find a lit review first. I've got to add a quote to my comment. I've got to edit my video. I've got maths work to do. I've got a lot of maths work to catch up on. Because Nick, I tutored today, told me that, Joe, you've got to, if you want to go to uni, you need that maths grade. So he said to me, Joe, as long as you get that passing journalism, you're good. And if you get the 4 in maths, that's perfect. You can't do any better. So I've been doing some maths, but I'm going to focus on that and try and get that out of the way.
Word of advice for you: get some past papers done.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
When I was doing my maths thing, every day, mate, after school, 3 past papers. Sorry, it's being too fast there. 3 past papers on my desk, doing it, working away at it, mate. That really helped me. Just get some past papers off your teacher, send them over, work away on. Honestly, mate, just so much good because then you get used to the structure of it.
Yeah.
Just learning techniques can be just different than just doing a paper.
Exactly, yeah.
So
I do find maths tough, but I need to get it done this year. Like, I need to get maths out of my way so I don't have to do it again. I have to.
Yeah, it's essential grade you need. But you know, even if you got the passing journalism and you had all the experience you've got now, I think they would let you in. But it's better to have the maths grade.
Yeah,
sure.
for future in it, for the future, you can at least have a better grade in maths.
Definitely, mate. Finally, there's fucking loads of stuff again here to talk about, but there's no way I've got time. We've got time for all this. We're going to talk about this last week, but we didn't get time. So, dream interviews. I've got dream interviews, paying for interviews, and what are your thoughts on that? Would you pay for interviews with if it's say worth it, or who would you? Is this leads into the question then? Who would you pay? 3 people you would pay to interview, and how much the most you would pay for it?
That's tough. 3 people I'd pay to interview. Probably one of them, it'd probably be an actor. So if it were any, it'd probably be like Bryan Cranston of Breaking Bad. You see, like if it's anyone, it'd definitely be him. I'd pay for him, and 300's a lot, but obviously he's a massive actor, so it'd probably be even more than that, wouldn't it? So it'd be like what, like £800 or something, because he's got millions of followers everywhere. He's a massive actor. But when you've got someone like him on the show, you're gonna get a bit well more known. He's probably if he posts that, like that guy you've talked about, you get loads of followers, more views. So probably about I'd say like £800 for him. Like it'd be tough if I wanted to pay it. If I were a big podcast, yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? But he'd definitely be one. A footballer would be one. I'd love to be a footballer.
Be realistic, because probably not be able to pay for Ronaldo to do one.
Yeah, obviously not Ronaldo. So it'd probably be like I'll go for someone from Man U, obviously. Let's go Mason Greenwood. Like I know he's not well known, but he's still a young, so he's only 20. But so I'd probably pay like 400 for him, like 500 for him. If I could, Greenwood would definitely be my football choice. Last one. It's tough, to be fair. Probably someone off, someone like off The Office, like a background character. Like, what's his name now out of the warehouse?
Judy. The guy who plays Doug Judy.
Nah, he's massive, isn't he? Craig Robson. I'd love to interview him, but he's massive. Yeah, it'd be someone off The Office, like a background character, like Creed. He's a background character off the start, but he does get more bigger in the end. But at the start, I'd love to interview him because he has them one-liners what make you crack up big time. There's one scene where it's slap, hit and run. So he stands up, slaps someone, and then runs off screaming. He'd probably be him, to be fair.
Brilliant. Mine would be, I would. So I'll do my 3 dream interviews, and I'll do who I'd pay for, who realistic I'd be able to pay for, and who I would pay for.
Yeah.
Gary Vaynerchuk, easy for me, easy decision.
Yeah, you're legit.
It's motivational. He just got me through a lot of tough times with work and stuff with his motivations. Juggernaut's been following him for years, and nearly a decade now. I've been following him for.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Juggernaut's just a huge fan. He's not a massive YouTuber anymore, but he's still got 4 million subscribers and doesn't get many views anymore. But he's still huge to me, and I still love his content.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm just the third one. Who's my favorite player? Conor McGregor, obviously.
I was about to say, yeah, Conor McGregor. Yeah, you're not going to say Conor McGregor.
Oh, that's my man. Conor McGregor for sure. 3 realistic ones I would pay for. Well, first of all, Ralph Macchio. Easy for me.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Ralph Macchio. Second one. Who am I thinking of? I think Ralph Macchio would probably not easy to get, but I think you'd be able to pay for him.
Most realistic, yeah.
Fighter. You know what, Dustin Poirier. Yeah, I like Dustin Poirier.
Oh wow, yeah.
Big fan. And True Geordie.
Yeah, that'd be good to get him, to be fair.
3 realistic ones that I would pay for. I'd pay for that Sean Kanan. I will pay for him, but they're like the 3 I would pay a lot of money for. So with Ralph Macchio, I'd pay 800 most. Just because it's just too much anyway to pay for.
Yeah.
It was over Dustin Poirier, big following, favorite fighter, pay $1,000.
Yeah.
True Geordie, 600 most. Not too big, is he? True Geordie.
Nah, but he's big in the UK, but I know what you mean. Like, he's not like massive.
But it's inspiration. I mean, like his podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, I've watched a few. I've not watched a lot. I've watched a few there.
Yeah, watch like Ricky Gervais one, like Eddie Hearn. Anyway, like he has some good guests. To be fair, I'm hoping one day he gets Conor McGregor because he wants him. But that's one of his dream ones. He wants him or Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan would be good.
Oh, imagine Joe Rogan.
Rogan ones, yeah.
He doesn't do interviews, does he? He doesn't do them.
No, he's the one interviewing, innit? Let's be honest.
Exactly, that's what I mean. But yeah, so yeah, they're the dream. So yours was Mason Greenwood.
My dream ones for definite. So, say a dream one, my favorite actor of all time, Keanu Reeves. Just a dream. I want to know what he does that. Like, I'd love to interview Keanu Reeves. Footballer, I definitely love to interview. It's a tough one. Obviously, you'd probably say Ronaldo and Messi, but that's your dream. I'd like to interview Wayne Rooney because he's probably my favorite player of all time. He's definitely one. I'd go for Ronaldo, of course. But Zlatan, if you're talking like footballers to interview, Zlatan is the one. Say Mourinho, just because I think they'd give some good answers. And I'll go for basketball. It'd probably be Steph Curry, obviously, or LeBron James.
Kobe Bryant, if he was still alive, maybe.
Yeah, 100%.
Michael
Jordan, yeah. Them, but football, Zlatan or Mourinho. Them would probably be my dream, and Keanu Reeves.
Right, so if I said two now, then you could have it into Michael Jordan for 15 minutes or Zlatan for 5. Who are you picking?
Zlatan, because I've loved Zlatan for longer.
What?
Yeah, I had to. Zlatan.
No! What?
Yeah. Zlatan. There's that one interview where he's got with Sky, and Pogba comes in. He's like, "Are you gonna let me sit down?" And he's like, "Only legends are allowed to sit down." And then when someone asks him who's the best striker in the Premier League, he goes, "Lions don't compare themselves to sheep." Like, come on. I think Jordan obviously would be amazing, but because I've loved Zlatan since I was like a kid, it'd be Zlatan.
I gotta respect that, to be fair. I gotta respect that. I mean, if I was offered 5 minutes with Conor McGregor and then half an hour of freaking David Beckham, I'd pick McGregor every day.
You got to, man. Even if it's for 5 minutes, you'd get some amazing quotes out of McGregor and Zlatan because they've got that ego, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'd give you some cracking answers.
I actually thought he was going to say Michael Jordan. I was convinced he'd say like Michael Jordan. I'm right now, but hey,
Zlatan, I love Zlatan. One of my favorite people ever. He's hilarious.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. Right. So finally, that was a good little segment. That I enjoyed that. I'm gonna clip that up, actually, put it in a separate clip, and then put it on YouTube stream interviews and stuff. It's an interesting narrative whether journalists would pay for them, but I definitely would if I was in a bit more in the future. Yeah. Here we go. Uni struggles. So, yourself, Joe. You obviously I think you just started. You almost finished application now. Just talk me through that.
Finished. I just need to pay it off. Like, I finished it today. Spoke to my tutor. He checked it all. All I've got to do now is pay it, and it's off. And I've 2 days before the deadline. Nevertheless, like, come on.
What choices then? Talk us through it.
Pardon? He told me to take Bournemouth off, so I've got Leeds, Trinity, Liverpool. He gave some good comments about Liverpool and Sheffield Hallam. I'll choose Hallam, but them two other ones are good.
You already got 3?
Yeah, 3. Obviously, I've got foundation years, I know. So 2 foundation years, and Liverpool and Leeds.
So what was his comment? Oh, actually, can't say, but so you just picked 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. So you definitely, you don't get Hallam. You definitely do the other 2 then if you got checked.
Yeah. That Leeds obviously isn't that far away, is it? And I've heard Leeds Trinity is good. I was looking at it, so it's got a good course. But I'd like to go to Hallam because you get a year away. You get to choose either America, Australia, or somewhere else. Like,
really?
Yeah. You get to choose one of them. So that'd be interesting to see. I'd love to go to obviously America for basketball. That's about it. But you get to go there, which I'd love to do. So I'm looking forward to it. To be fair, hopefully I get in, but I'm looking forward to it.
I think you will. I think it's interesting. Bournemouth as well has got a year abroad at a different university. So that'd be a semester abroad. Sorry, I don't know what that is in our terms.
They call it that. That's their. Is that
like terms?
Yeah.
So it's not a year, is it? It's just a term, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah. I think it'd be like a couple of months, I'd say.
That's what, mate. I love that, honestly, just to learn.
Yeah, you love it in America, wouldn't you? I know like you said, you'd love to go there for a year. So obviously you choose America, wouldn't you?
One of my dreams, mates, to do coverage at the red carpet event. Hollywood.
Yeah. Comic-Con for me. I'd love to do one at Comic-Con because that's where all like the Tom Holland and that go in it.
Oh, mate, amazing that would be.
It would. Like Bryan Cranston, I don't know if they were at Comic-Con, like someone asked him what were it like filming in Albuquerque, and he said, "Well, I'd visit your mom now and then." He said that to a random guy. Like, I'd visit your mom now and then. It'd be amazing because Comic-Con's like where all the fun happens. Even Bryan Cranston dressed up as himself, walked around, no one even noticed. He just walked on stage and it was Bryan Cranston, took the mask off. You know what I mean? Like Comic-Con's a fun.
Say.
Yeah, Comic-Con's at Tom Holland. Everyone seems to have fun there, so it'd be good to get an interview there, definitely.
Oh, crazy, mate. That is what one of my dreams. I say someone asked me the other day, but yeah, I'd love to do something like that. That'd be amazing. For me, mate, I thought I was set on Bournemouth, but I've just not really heard anything from them with regards to emails. I've got that offer, but
Really?
every other university is sending emails and guidance and stuff. But just like Bournemouth haven't sent much, but Bournemouth, of course, stands out for sure over everyone else.
Yeah, I know you wanted to go for that one.
Just undecided as well because they're just leaving family. Do you know what I mean? Is that ever in your head?
It's far, yeah, it's far, isn't it? Like Bournemouth. Like I know you want to go on your own, but what is that like? Is it like 3 hours on a train from?
Like 7 hours on a coach, man.
That's far. That I know it's a good uni and that, but that's far. That's what Nick said to me. He said, Joe, like that's far. Just be careful. Like you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, you're right. To be fair, Liverpool's an hour and a half away. Leeds is an hour and a half away. So if whatever happened, like obviously I hope it doesn't. Like family wise, you can just get back.
Yeah, touch wood, man.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So, but I know you were dead set on Bournemouth. But what other one have you looked at now? Then, which is
Central Lancashire. I've got Northampton offers. I've got offers from all five for Brighton, Central Lancashire, Northampton, Bournemouth, and then University School of Journalism, Plymouth Margin, which someone says has been really, really good. But Bournemouth, man, it's just everything about the course stands out. Living by the sea, AFC Bournemouth links, but there's also my family's side of it. If it ever happened, I'm 7 hours away, man. What can I do?
That's what my parents said to me. Said Joe, like obviously with just a choice, I'd still choose Salem. Like Joe, what if whatever happened? You're miles away. Like it'll take you ages to get back. What if whatever happened to you? Then you're miles away. We'd have to. You know what I mean? You don't think of that, do you, until your parents or everyone else says like you need to have a look and actually realize how far away you are from your family.
Yeah, we'll see. It's I was speaking to a few friends who are saying like, oh, they only get back once a term anyway. But I definitely go back quite a bit. I'd have to get some sort of coach train or coach pass to switch.
Money as well. You've got to think of that. Traveling constantly. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
As a student.
I mean, the prospect of living by the sea and stuff just sounds really good.
Yeah, it does. Of course it does.
The nightlife, mate, it looks amazing. Like,
it does.
Everything about it, mate. But it's just the fact there was one thing holding me back from just clicking on the offer now and going accept. Just the family side of it, man. But my family haven't said. They've said like that they don't mind me going there and stuff. But it's just.
It's good though that you're thinking of your family like that, though, innit? You know what I mean? Like yeah, obviously you don't. Like I know some people would probably click that straight away and not think twice about family. They just go, but at least you're like thinking about your family and what would if ever happen to you or them.
I'm saying I want to be independent, like, but then I also don't want to be too far away, man. I'm saying 5 hours. I mean, I'm not sure how far it's on the train. The train costs a bit, but if it's close on the train, then I'll get a train pass. We'll see how it works, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'll keep people updated and stuff, but we'll see what happens later. But yeah, that my uni process is done now. 5 hours, so it's time for me to decide and make a correct decision. Anyway, mate, we've got through tons today again.
Yeah, it's been fun though.
Definitely.
Some topics.
There's loads to go again. I've got Creed 3 theories. I've had this on the list for the last 3 episodes now. I've not managed to go through it.
Well.
And there's massive Cobra Kai theory that I want to go through, but it's just too long to go through today. So I'll start with them two next week.
Next one, Charlie, make it a film and TV one. Talk about TV. Why? Like, why is that your favorite?
Favorite TV, favorite film.
Yeah, like with Creed and that.
Definitely, mate. We'll go through that actually. Yeah, that's a good idea. So next one, guys, will be a TV show and movie one. Favorite TV shows and favorite movies, reviewing them and some potential spin-offs for them sort of films. Right, it's been Back with a Bang, episode 9. Me, Charlie Walden, your host, and your co-host, Joe Mcglade. See you later.
Thanks for having me.